So I wanted to start off with this. At the end of season one, Jamie is doing a lot of great things. He's with Manchester City, able to help them beat AFC Richmond. And at the start of season two, things look really great for him, but it turns really quickly. So I wanted to ask you this. Are you kind of surprised that Jamie has taken a turn for the worse at the start of season two?
It's funny. I think that, and throughout this whole process of doing this show, I think that I guess as an actor, you need to always be able to justify the decisions that your character makes. You need to always be able to say, because I know them, I have spent the time getting to know them, I know that they're doing this for a reason. And that's one of the great things about Jamie Tartt, because you have to really justify a lot of stuff. And so you're digging pretty deep. And I wonder if, listen, I'm going to do some revisionist history here. I wonder if Jamie Tartt is going through a bit of a quarter life crisis. And, we find him at the start of season two, in episode one, he is on a reality TV show. And it feels like he's maybe scraping the barrel a little bit. He maybe didn't get the sort of admiration that he wanted, that he needed from football. And so he's turning elsewhere. But I also think, he's been trying for season one, he's been trying to learn to be better, and yet he still gets kicked back to Man City, and he's still, chased by the demons that he has from his father. So maybe he's just like, do you know what? I'm just gonna put this all on the back burner for now and just go and sit in the sun by a pool and drink some cocktails. So, yeah, it's maybe it's the most Jamie Tartt thing he could possibly have done.
Absolutely. And one of the things that was documented in season one is Jamie's relationship with Keeley and with Roy Kent. Um, where do you see Jamie's relationship with those two going in season two?
Well, I think that Jamie owes a huge amount to Keeley. I think that he knows that, and also I think that we see Keeley being Jamie's safe space, really. I think that he feels at home there, and I think that oddly, I think that he feels something maybe similar with Roy Kent, and as much as he would hate to admit it, I think they're very similar, and so we see them continue throughout this season. Struggling with how they communicate with one another, but also with others, and through the lessons they've learned with Roy and with Keeley. But yeah, it's their emotional journeys continue.
Mhm. And your relationship, Jamie's relationship with Ted Lasso, was something that was documented in season one and really into season two as well. Um, and you mentioned Jamie's demons with his father. Do you think Jamie looks at Ted Lasso as kind of a father figure?
Yeah, I think he does. Yeah, I think he does. I think that he does, but probably he doesn't realize that he does. There is an authority figure. I think Jamie probably hasn't dealt well with authority figures for some time in his life, probably because of the relationship he's had with his dad. And there's an authority figure that is trying to help him. And, I think he probably sees that help as probably someone trying to tell him what to do. Um, However, I think that, one of the great strong things about this show is that it reimagines and redefines and challenges perceptions that we have about certain uh, relationships, family relationships, relationships with leadership, male relationships. And so, yeah, I think that, and it's interesting that you say that, and I think probably a lot of audience members will see that. Whether Jamie truly understands it or not, maybe a different thing. But yeah, I think there's a lot of stories about family and also fatherhood throughout Ted Lasso.
Absolutely. Well, Phil, that'll do it for me. Thank you so much for your time. I really enjoyed your character in season one and in season two, and good luck to you the rest of the way.
Nice one, Brian. Thanks, mate. Lovely to meet you.
All right. Nice to meet you too. Thank you so much. So I wanted to start off with this first. Your character is obviously new to Ted Lasso. a regular on season two. How was it like coming in to this show, especially with a cast and crew that's already have this chemistry?
Yeah, I mean, um, everybody was really supportive. It was wonderful, but you can't help feeling like, a little bit sick in the throat. Like, oh, it's the first day of school. Am I going to be good enough? Is it the right decision to pick me?
Yeah.
So it was, you get all those kind of thoughts, and you just, put them aside. But Jason was, he gave me loads of information, his ideas about the character. He was really supportive, as was a lot of the writing team, always checking in with us. And it was just a joy. It was so funny to be on that set and work with those people. I was thrilled.
Oh, absolutely. And
Yeah.
your role is you're playing a sports psychologist. You're coming in to help AFC Richmond get through some issues that they're having at the start of the season. And one of the things that stood out with me is Ted Lasso not necessarily really buying into you as a psychologist. So, is it possible that your character sees some issues going on with Ted Lasso because Ted Lasso is a guy that is always positive, always has a good approach to everything. But do you think she sees something in Ted Lasso where he has some issues that he has to deal with?
I think she can't help but see issues in everyone. I mean, if the team's not being
Yeah.
successful as they could be, and she's been called in, you can't help with your training, your skills to be able to be observing things. And she must be used to people, being reluctant to be open with her as such. And
Mhm.
I think it's quite it's quite interesting to have someone like Ted and this person that's just really, in your face, happy and bright, and and you can't quite get in there, can't quite get them, get them to what's going on beyond that, So yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely. And when it comes to sports psychology, it's something that it's pretty common, but not too many fans hear about. Um, what were some of the things you did in order to prepare for your role?
Funny, I watched, and this is before I even auditioned it, I watched the Michael Jordan documentary. I was quite
Okay.
fascinated by the way the players were. To me, it was like Shakespeare, because you got to see how
Yeah.
they played, their characters, what was going on, something about their personalities, what limited them, and what they actually might have needed in terms of communication. It was just really interesting to watch that, and then I got on board this, and I listened to a lot of LeBron James talking. I was doing a bit of just listening to, but he's talking about his mindset before the game. I found it really fascinating, and
Right.
the things that stick with people, what they get told, and what sticks with them, up into their training. And then
Mhm.
Jason provided me with loads of books where to, look into this and look into that. Some of it had nothing to do with sports psychology, but was really interesting in observing. And yeah, I kept thinking about his line in the first series: "Be curious, not judgmental." And I thought that was a really good
Mhm.
um, quote for Sharon.
A really great documentary. I'm
Oh
pretty sure
wow!
that's yeah.
So
I'm pretty sure
good.
that was really great. Yeah, oh yeah, really great research for you and Ted Lasso. But Sarah, thank you so much for your
Thank
time. I
you.
really enjoyed your character. Good
Oh,
luck to you the rest of the way.
thank you very much. Take care.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. All right, so I want to ask you this first. Well, first, I love your character, Higgins. It was really fun to watch him in season one. Um, I wanted to ask you this first. Do you enjoy playing a character like Higgins, who's very lovable, someone you can support, and someone you can root for?
Yeah, God, I love playing Higgins for many reasons. I hope that you do root for him. He has had a bit of a sort of dark history with Rupert, but he was hugely compromised, and he continues to be in season one, and of course it changes up very much at the end of season one. Um, but the other stuff I like about him is the fact that the great, amazing writers have taken him to various areas. So he's walking on eggshells at the beginning of season one, and he's quite rebellious by the end of the season. And as we see beginning of season 2, he's settled into a kind of more managerial position, and gets to engineer some quite major decisions for the club. So yeah, getting to do all that, and yeah, also getting to play the double bass is very cool. It's a real gift from the creators. Yeah.
And you mentioned season 2, and one of the things that we kind of see is Rebecca trying to find a romantic partner. When it comes to your role, with you being kind of her right-hand man, is it possible we could see you trying to play kind of matchmaker for Rebecca?
That would be great, wouldn't it? I would love that. But I think that's beyond his remit, and I don't think that she would probably trust his decisions in that area at all. He'd probably find somebody who's probably too bookish or something for her. So no, she goes her own way on that score.
And with Ted Lasso, you know, you're him and Higgins and really just the Diamond Dots have really developed as just a strong bond. How is it working with Jeremy Sudeikis? Because before Ted Lasso, people know him from Saturday Night Live, and he's been a bunch of movies. How has it been working with Jason Sudeikis these last 2 seasons?
Oh, well, awesome. I mean, it's breathtaking, his talent. It's actually quite annoying. He's, not only is he a great actor, he's a great improviser, he's a great writer, and he's a hard worker, which is just so admirable. Yeah, I love working with him. Everything goes up a notch when he's on set, because there are scenes that Ted isn't in every scene, but if he's monitoring a scene, he'll come in with some idea and he'll just finesse it and just bunch up the comedy or the truth or he'll just remind us of the arc of the character or of the show in such a great way. So he's a great assistant as well as a great actor just to work alongside with actor to actor.
Yeah, and the last question for me is season 1 was such a huge hit, won a lot of awards, got critical acclaim. Do you think season 2 can recreate that magic and be able to even succeed the expectations what season 1 brought?
I really hope so. I think there was no falling off of quality in the script when I read the script, and I think the great thing is that there'll just be such surprises for people. If they've been pulled into the show by season 1 and they love the characters, they'll hopefully go with them on the journeys that they have, and there are things that you could never guess in your wildest dreams would happen in season 2. So hopefully that does push the bar up even higher. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, Jeremy, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it, and congratulations on season 2 of Ted Lasso.
Thank you very much, Brian. Very kind. Thank you. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. First off, I have to say I love both your characters. You're 2 of my favorite characters on the show. So I like what you 2 have done with those characters.
Thank you so much. That's really kind, man.
Oh, yeah, no problem. So, Toheeb, I wanted to start with you. Your character, Sam, he in season 2, he is a little bit more outspoken, has become more of a leader. He has done a lot of things to contribute to AFC Richmond, whether it's on the pitch and even off when it comes to some political issues. So, do you like how this character has developed from where he was from season 1 and now to season 2?
Oh, I love it. I love it. Like I'm over the moon, and I'm super super grateful to the creative team, like all the people who made Ted Lasso happen, for like trusting me and trusting Cristo with a little bit more to do. And so my really tough responsibility is to carry some very important politically charged messages. And so yeah, like as an actor, like I'm great. Like I feel super fulfilled as an artist right now.
Absolutely. And Cristo, your character, Dani Rojas, at the start of season 2, he goes through quite a bit of issues based on what happens at the start of the episode. And it's really interesting to see him go through some of the things that athletes normally go through throughout their career. So when it comes to his character, or just Dani in general, are viewers going to see more of a more Dani in the sense that he's more positive, he's always happy, always outgoing? Are we going to see a different side of Dani Rojas throughout season 2?
Yeah, I'm very happy for that, and I'm very happy for this season 2 because not only Dani but most of the characters we're gonna be able to see other aspects, but for Dani, yeah, he's gonna not smile all the time. He's gonna have some moments when he hates stuff or where he's really down in his life. So I think for me, it's been a really cool challenge, and I'm grateful with Jason, Brandon, Joe, Bill, and all the creative team for giving me these new bits that I think is gonna make Dani Rojas more of a real human with real problems, just like anyone else in the world.
Absolutely. And this question is for both of you. We saw in the trailer a different side of Ted Lasso. Even though the team is supportive of him, they are going through their issues. They are struggling to find wins. They have these consecutive draws they go through. So even though the team is happy with Ted Lasso, do you think, whether it's Sam, whether it's Dani, whether it's the rest of the team, really feel that Ted Lasso can be that guy that can lead them to success?
Yeah. I think, Sam especially, adores the man. I think he has like a really, really, really soft spot in his heart for Ted. And he's like a father figure for Sam. And so yeah, I think at the bottom of their heart, every single one of them have by this point subscribed to the Ted Lasso method, and so we're 100% on that bandwagon, on that train. We can still have disagreements, and we're gonna see Sam stand up to him at some points and really let him know how he feels and stand on his own 2 feet. But all of that aside, I think all of the players are really on the Ted Lasso bandwagon. They 100% believe at this point.
Yeah, we're all a family now, so we go all the way until the end together.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sounds awesome. Well, Toheeb, Cristo, again, I love your characters. Thank you so much for your time, and congratulations on season 2.